Good morning, everyone. My name is Jahil Oliver. I'm the CEO and founder of Hello Tractor. I started this business 10 years ago. Feels like a lifetime. And coming out of a career in financial services, investment banking, and private equity, I was in search of more meaningful work, which led me to first microfinance, which was a stopping point, and then ultimately agriculture, which is where Hello Tractor was born. And the allure of Hello Tractor for me was really all about economic empowerment at the base of the pyramid. The vast majority of the global poor earn their income on the farm. And that's where I decided to meet them with services to increase their productivity and their income. Now, to frame the problem a bit, um, agriculture in Africa is paramount. Africa has the largest inventory of uncultivated farmland on Earth. The vast majority of the population is engaged in agriculture or agro-ally industries, 60% of the labor force, 40%, or excuse me, 20% of the continent's GDP. But African farmers are underperforming, and that's largely because they don't have access to the same technologies, namely tractors and tractor services. And so we saw an opportunity at Hello Tractor to solve this problem through technology, and really providing a suite of technologies to a very underserved part of the global agricultural ecosystem. The vast majority of farmers across the emerging markets don't own their own equipment. Even in areas of the world where mechanization has penetrated, lower income communities like India and other parts of South Asia, this access is often enabled through what we refer to in the industry as contract services, or farmers paying equipment owners to service their fields. But of the 2 million tractors sold into this contracting market globally, there was no technology to enable the management of equipment or the organization of farmers so that services could be delivered in a more efficient way at economies of scale. And these are largely smallholder communities. So organizing farmers' demand into clusters so that when tractors get deployed into far off areas, there's an efficiency in servicing that fragmented, distributed demand. So that was our solution, and it was a full stack solution, and it's what enables farmers to access services that are 40 times faster than manual labor, which we all know the prevailing demographic trends, particularly across Africa, one of the highest urbanizing parts of the world, rapidly aging farm populations as well. There's a labor deficiency. So having tractors that can cultivate the fields 40 times faster at a third of the cost is a real value. And these are rain-fed agricultural systems. So you need to get that crop established on time. And so Hello Tractor really leaned on technology to enable the solutioning around these persistent problems. But it wasn't just technology, it was also figuring out how to bring maintenance to tractors, which was deficient, and broken spare part supply chains, bringing inputs to farmers, training them on best practices. I mean, all these things are central to a farmer's success. And cutting across all of this is finance and access to finance to ensure equitable access to these really life-changing technologies. So Hello Tractor's business really starts at the foundation layer with the farmers. And we built technology for agents in the community to organize farmers for tractor services. And you know, this technology it does two things really. It provides entrepreneurial opportunities for previously unemployed young people who are savvy and maybe have access to a smartphone, and they can organize farmers for tractor services in their community and earn a commission for that. But it also enables access to the farmers who may not have high levels of digital literacy, This is their entry point into the digital economy, and being able to digitize their fields and then algorithmically cluster their field with other farmers' fields to now have a tractor come out and deliver services that has increased our farmers on average income of 220%. Now, of course, once those bookings are generated, we also have a tractor owner app that gives the equipment owner, through GPS embedded on the tractor through Hello Tractor, the opportunity to remotely monitor and manage their equipment. This booking or this fleet management application covers all the pertinent aspects of fleet management, including how much work did my tractor do? Most tractor owners hire a tractor operator. So you need to know, is this person undercutting me, saying they only did maybe 1 acre, 2 acres that day when they really did 5 or 10 acres, and pocketing the difference? Fuel monitoring is also a big part of our business, and really optimizing these fleets to minimize the carbon footprint of these tractors as they service these farmers. And then lastly, connecting efficiently to farmers so that once that machinery is protected through our fleet management solution, these tractor owners feel comfortable sending it out to service new farmers that we organize through those community-based agents that I mentioned earlier. Now, inherent in the Hello Tractor model is it really is entrepreneurship. And one of the incentives that was really successful for us was launching our pay-as-you-go tractor finance product. And we launched this in response to the pent-up demand that we were observing in our marketplace, where community-based agents would book large networks of farmers for services, only to find out there wasn't enough tractors in the market to service the demand that they originated. And we saw that as an opportunity to finance those individuals on the basis of the data in the Hello Tractor booking application, to say, look, you're deserving to be a tractor owner. You have enough farmers. You've been going after it for the last year or two with Hello Tractor. Let's get you a tractor so you can actually service that demand that you've organized in your community directly. You're no longer a middleman or a middlewoman, but now you're an asset owner. And that product has performed phenomenally well. It was seeded originally with $5 million, and eventually we raised an additional $5 million from our largest investor, John Deere, who partnered with commercial banks in the market to bring more capital to the base of the pyramid. And this was really transformative. We've closed some of the largest deals across all of agriculture in Kenya, Uganda, and Nigeria, where the product is live. And these loans aren't going to big corporations. These are loans going to previously unbanked. A third of our portfolio is women tractor owners, and a quarter of them are doing conservation agriculture. So we're breaking down these gender barriers. We're introducing new climate smart technologies to the last mile. And we do all this through smart incentives while maintaining a non-performing loan of only 2% across the portfolio, across the 3 countries that I mentioned. And that's incredibly healthy portfolio. I even pushed the team. I said, we need to take even more risks, because I mean, that's just phenomenal credit health across the portfolio. And lastly, and very briefly, we launched hubs to protect these assets and deliver more than just tractors, but also deliver inputs to our farmers, trainings on best practices, particularly in conservation agriculture, access to inputs and market linkages, where we also recently launched a warehouse receipt system where we're delivering financial support to our farmers so that they can sell at a time, so they can store their grain and sell at a time where the prices in the market are more accommodative. So using a lot of innovation to bring financial services to the base of the pyramid, and it's had real impact. We service over 1 million farmers, growing on 2.9 million acres of land. With 4,500, we're now over 5,000 tractors and combines. So notable success across the platform, and we're looking to scale it up meaningfully. Our next phase of growth is $60 million to finance more tractors across the markets that I mentioned. Thank you for the time, and thanks to AFI for the platform.
Thank you very much, Jahil, and that was pretty much bang on time. And we'll hand it over to our judges for any questions. So Arlindo, Sarah, or Carmen, the floor is yours for any questions you'd like to ask. Carmen, please.
Yeah, thank you. I have a question. Does Hello Tractor promotes the financial education in its users or operators tractors or?
Finances for sure. So everybody on the Hello Tractor platform has an opportunity to access tractor loans through the Hello Tractor financing program. A booking agent who reaches a minimum of 1,200 acres of booked land pre-qualifies to become a tractor owner. And that's, our typical booking agent is earning around $150 to $200 a month. By becoming a tractor owner, and that's a $25,000, $30,000 tractor, right? They now jump up to over $1,000 a month. So this is a significant income increase to somebody who would not normally step foot in a commercial bank. I mean, they have zero bank relationships. And then the same is true for our tractor owners. Of course, we have a buy now, pay later spare parts and maintenance program. And then I mentioned for our farmers, we offer warehouse receipts where we buy their grain up front using our financing and then allow them and store it for them and then allow them to sell it at a future point where Hello Tractor and the farmer shares in the upside when the grain prices rebound. Because at harvest, as you all know who work in agriculture, at the harvest season, everybody sells at the same time, prices drop, and the farmers get squeezed. So if you can store that grain for just 2 months, you can earn significantly more. We help to do that through our financing product. So we do financing across the entire platform, but it's all on the basis of the data being generated from our core business, which is the mechanization.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Arlindo, please.
Yes, I have two. The first one is related to the linkage to the banks. Are you linked to the bank or are you acting as a bank since you are saying that you are providing loan to the owners of tractors?
Yeah, thanks, Arlindo. Well, as you know, I think you're calling in from Mozambique. It is very difficult to get banks on the continent to finance farmers and almost impossible to get them to finance smallholder farmers. We've successfully used our balance sheet to raise capital with commercial banks. ABSA is one of our largest bank partners to now finance these smallholder farmers, but we share in the risk, right? We're financing those customers using commercial bank money. We have an obligation to repay that money on time, which means our farmers must perform on the credit that we've deployed. So far, they have. Now, there's a lot of innovative deal structuring that goes into getting a commercial bank that's conservative like ABSA to finance smallholder farmers. As you know, less than 2% of bank lending across all of Africa goes into agriculture. That's mostly corporate agriculture. So we use our supply chain. John Deere owns 25% of the business at this stage. They also allow us to use their balance sheet through credit enhancements, credit guarantees to get ABSA Bank and banks like Equity and Standard Bank comfortable with financing a small company like Hello Tractor to now finance previously unbanked individuals to become tractor owners.
Thanks. Thanks, Arlindo. And
thanks, Arlindo.
Just give Sarah an opportunity if you have any one quick question, Sarah.
Sure. Are you planning on expanding beyond? So you said Kenya, Uganda, Nigeria.
Absolutely. So that's where we have tractor finance today. We launched our pay-as-you-go tractor finance product in Rwanda already. We've already placed the order for the tractors there on the boat being shipped over. So that official launch will happen in about 2 months once the tractors hit and we turn those tractors over to our borrowers. And then for the $60 million scale up of our tractor finance work, we're also looking into Ethiopia, Tanzania, expanding our work in West Africa. Right now, we have financing in Nigeria, but we're looking to also bring it to Cote d'Ivoire and potentially Senegal and Ghana. But all these markets have their own interesting challenges, from FX to dollar liquidity. We often finance in hard currency, and then we finance our customers in local currency to insulate them from that volatility in the currencies. So it's super tricky. And it involves, and we can have an entire session on deal structuring in Africa because it's fascinating, and trying to figure out how to mitigate risks for your investors while keeping the credit affordable to our borrowers, because ultimately they come first, right? We serve at the pleasure of our farmers, full stop. And so figuring out how to structure and manage risk by not just pricing up the loans is a fascinating discussion. But yes, to answer your question, we are expanding our pay-as-you-go and our financing work. And our broader platform, we're in 20 countries in Africa. But that's no pay-as-you-go tractor financing. That's just, fleet management or our marketplace services.
Great. Thank you so much.
Yeah, my pleasure.